Mine were real. They don't tell you the rules when you move in, not because they forget, not because they're rude. They don't tell you because once you know the rules, the town knows you know, and then it starts watching you more closely. I moved to Briar Hollow because it was cheap, quiet, and off the map in a way that felt comforting at the time. One of those towns you don't find unless you're actively trying to disappear. Population just under 2,000. No chain stores, one diner, one gas station, one blinking traffic light that never seemed to change on time. The listing online was short, almost suspiciously so. Small town, friendly neighbors. Please read all provided documents upon arrival. I assumed that meant lease paperwork, a nonsense, maybe a recycling schedule. I was wrong. Day one, the house itself was normal, too normal. Beige siding, white porch railing, wind chimes that clinked even when there was no wind. Inside, everything was clean, not new, just untouched. Like someone who carefully prepared the house and then never lived in it. On the kitchen counter sat a single manila envelope. No stamp, no name. Just one word written in black marker. Oh, I laughed. Actually laughed out loud. I remember thinking it was some kind of joke from the landlord, a quirky small town thing. Inside the envelope was one sheet of paper, typed, no letterhead. No logo, just a list. The rules of Briar Hollow: do not leave your house between 12:11 a.m. and 3:33 a.m. If you hear a knocking during those hours, do not answer, even if the voice sounds familiar. Never look directly at the man standing at the edge of your property. If he waves, close your eyes until the waving stops. Do not count the streetlights. On Sundays, do not use mirrors after sunset. If you break a rule, do not attempt to leave town. At the bottom, one final line. These rules exist for your safety. I should have left right then. But nothing about the paper felt threatening. No dramatic warnings. No consequences listed. Just calm, clinical instructions. And beneath that calmness was something worse, confidence. As if the rules weren't suggestions. They were facts. The first night at 12:10 a.m., I was brushing my teeth. At 12:11, every sound in the house stopped. The refrigerator hummed, then fell silent. The wind chimes outside froze mid-movement. Even the distant hum of insects vanished. It was like the world had paused. I remembered rule number 1. I checked my phone. 12:12 a.m. Then came the knocking. 3 slow knocks on the front door. Not loud. Not aggressive. Patient. Then a voice. My mother's voice. Sweetheart, I'm locked out. My heart nearly stopped. My mother had been dead for 6 years. I stood there, toothbrush still in my mouth, staring at the bathroom mirror. The voice continued. I know you're in there. I can hear you breathing. I don't know how long I stood frozen. Seconds felt like minutes, minutes like hours. Then, just as suddenly as it started, the knocking stopped. The hum of the refrigerator returned. The wind chimes rang softly. 3:34 a.m. The man at the edge, I noticed him 2 days later. I was unpacking boxes when something caught my eye through the living room window. A man, standing at the very edge of my property, not on the sidewalk, not on the road, exactly where my lawn ended. He wore dark clothes, a coat too heavy for the season. His face was wrong, not distorted, just indistinct, like my brain refused to fill in the details. I remembered rule number 3. Never look directly at the man standing at the edge of your property. I looked away. That's when I realized something terrifying. I hadn't heard him arrive. No footsteps, no rustling grass. He was just there. A few seconds later, movement in my peripheral vision. He raised his arm. He waved. Rule number 4. I closed my eyes. I stood there, heart pounding, eyes clenched shut, listening to my own breathing. 1 second, 2, 3. Then I felt it. The sensation of being watched disappear. When I opened my eyes, he was gone. The streetlights on my 4th evening, I took a walk before sunset. The street was quiet, too quiet. As I walked, I noticed something strange. The streetlights, they were evenly spaced, perfectly symmetrical. Out of habit, my brain started counting. 1, 2, 3. I stopped. Rule number 5. Do not count the streetlights. I don't know why that rule existed, but the sudden wave of dread told me it mattered. That night I dreamed of numbers, endless numbers, and a voice whispering, "You were so close." The mirror Sunday came faster than I expected. After sunset, I went to wash my hands and caught my reflection in the bathroom mirror. For half a second, everything looked normal. Then my reflection blinked. I hadn't. Rule number 6 hit me like ice water. I turned the light off and left the room immediately. That night, I heard movement in the walls. Not scratching. Breathing. The neighbor who broke the rules, I finally spoke to a neighbor on my second week. Her name was Eleanor, late 60s, lived across the street. Eyes that looked tired in a way sleep couldn't fix. I asked her about the rules. Her face went pale. "You got the paper," she said quietly. "Do people actually follow them?" I asked. She nodded. "Everyone who's still here." I asked what happened to the others. She hesitated, then said, "They leave without leaving." Before I could ask what that meant, she pointed behind me. "He's closer to your house now." I didn't turn around. I didn't need to. Breaking a rule, the breaking point came 3 weeks in. I woke up at 2:47 a.m. to my phone ringing. "Unknown number?" Against my better judgment, I answered. All I heard was my own voice, breathing, then a whisper. "You've been very careful." The next night, I broke rule number 1. I opened my front door at 12:14 a.m. The street looked wrong. The houses were there, but stretched. The streetlights bent inward like they were leaning to listen. And at the end of the road stood the man. Not at the edge of my property anymore. In the middle of the street, he smiled. This time I could see his face. It was empty. Not blank, hollow. Rule number 7 exists for a reason. I tried to leave town the next morning. My car wouldn't start. The bus never came. The GPS spun endlessly, unable to find a route out. Eleanor found me sitting on my porch. "You broke a rule," she said. I nodded. She sighed. "They'll give you one choice now." That night, the rules changed. A new paper appeared on my kitchen counter. One rule. 8. Someone must take your place. The truth. Eleanor told me the truth. Briar Hollow wasn't a town. It was a boundary. A place built to contain something that couldn't leave on its own. The man, he couldn't cross property lines unless invited. He couldn't enter homes unless rules were broken, and he couldn't leave the town unless someone else stayed behind. The last rule, I don't know who wrote the rules. I only know they work. I know because I'm still here, and because someone new moved into my house last night. I left the envelope on the counter. One sheet of paper, typed, confident, because the rules don't need to threaten you. They already own you. And if you're reading this, please follow them.